I didn't.
Thank you for watching Highway 34 Connection. Today's podcast will begin shortly.
Highway 34 Connection is a podcast where a trio of friends who have become brothers sit down and discuss random topics, or even break down a bracket and even discuss American sports and news. Now sit back and relax as we give you our thoughts and honest opinions on the topics at hand. Once again, thanks for picking Highway 34 Connection.
The following podcast may use videos, pictures, news articles, and even audio from another channel. Highway 34 Connection doesn't own the rights to those. We will shout out who or where we get them for the podcasts. The only copyright is not us here at Highway 34 Connection. Please remember that all of our podcasts are unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited. Podcasts we do are pro wrestling talk, where we discuss the world of pro wrestling and give spoilers.
Talking Football, where we talk about the current season of the NFL, XFL and USFL, where we give our thoughts on each week of gameplay. We also give our predictions on what teams will win each game.
Conspiracy Theories, we sit down and talk about conspiracy theories and why we think something is real or just a theory.
Let's chat it up. This is a podcast where we just talk about random topics here on the channel. We could talk about anything, so please be warned, our podcasts are intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome to Highway 34 Connection.
Evening, everybody. This is Cities is over there. The Ghost is here. Chief's supposed to be joining us. Hopefully he does. And the Cities is smoking while driving. Anyway.
Smoking while driving and talking while driving.
Hey, Pixie, how you doing today? Hey, Rampage, how are we doing? All right. So, the topic of the day that I will warn you, we're going to warn you. There might be a little religious talk, maybe a little political talk.
I don't know about religious part of it. I just want to know how the liberal mind works. That's all I really want to know. I really want to understand.
See, here's the thing. Earlier today, when I've talked, we said that we were going to do this podcast. I actually asked our mutual friend his thought about the subjects that we're going to talk about. Yeah, just to be fair, be honest, this is like.
And what he have to say?
Nothing.
My point. Again, I would like to know where the liberal mind is. Like, it's okay for Russia to want to take back something, but we'll stand with Ukraine. But yet Ukraine gets attacked by a country that wants to take it back and make it part of Russia again. That's a whole big no-no, but Ukraine has the right to defend itself. Israel gets bombed or vice versa, but they don't have a right to defend themselves. Instead, we're going to hold up American traffic to make our voices heard.
Okay, so as Mr. Rant-a-Lot is going on about, the subject of this podcast is, if anyone hasn't heard, the people were standing in line in the at the Golden Gate Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, I think you also said, and the Manhattan Bridge. So basically stopping the flow of traffic and cutting off people to be able to do things. So my question is that what exactly do you hope to gain from this stuff? I am all for peaceful protests. Don't get me wrong. I'm First Amendment all the way. I am all for peaceful protests.
Problem is, that ain't very peaceful, is it?
Well, it's not. They're not going around blowing things up.
No, they're just delaying traffic and starting people that need to actually get to work. Stopping people from being able to go pick their kids up from school or take them to school. That's not peacefully protesting, my friend. That's being a nuisance to society. Try that shit in Iowa, you're more than likely to get arrested for blocking the road, which is what should have happened. Ghost, you froze because you have a funny look on your face.
Well, it's just I went to that mutual friend's Facebook, and I'm still on his friend list, but I can't see his posts.
Who?
Our mutual friend that we like to argue with.
In that case, he blocked you from being able to see his post.
Even though we're on our friend list.
Yep, he can do that.
No. That's no
He
fun.
can limit you from what you can see.
Mm.
His profile, man.
And then I can still post on his posts.
Dick.
Oh well.
They aren't doing what yet?
Oh well, there you go. If I filter his posts like by year, like previous years, I can see it. That's weird.
It's sad that you're stalking his page.
I just don't know why it's not working. Well, probably has some glitches or something like that. Facebook's been
there's.
funny. They aren't doing it what yet?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Gas them and let them wake up in jail. Stop traffic bullshit. Anything else the government would have.
That's what I'm saying. That's
it's
what I'm
just
saying, Paige. You said it right there. It won't be peaceful very long.
Well, the thing is that back to the whole peaceful protesting. I'm okay with peaceful protesting. They're not hurting anybody. They're only stopping people from being able to go to work. Now I have a question for you. You work at a point. Yes. Sir, I can't come to work today because the traffic's blocked by people that won't get out of the fucking way. Would you say get pointed?
Yeah. So I said the liberal mind is they're full of entitlement. They're entitled to let their voice be heard, even though we got problems right here in our own fucking area. Why don't you fucking do something about that instead of worrying about something that's going on 100 miles away?
Israel's a little bit further than that.
I don't give a fuck. My point still stands.
I mean, me and the other side of Iowa is a lot more than 100 miles, but yeah, you gotta add a couple, gotta add like another zero there, my friend. But
all I'm saying is, we got our own problems here that we all should be more worried about, and they're worried about fucking something that's going on over there.
But we have Americans that are captured over there.
Exactly, but they don't want to talk about that. They only care about the war that we're not even in it. We're just trying to help keep the peace. They're mad because we're defending Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you, we've had this talk. It's America's whole sole purpose. It's a whole reason for being.
Right.
So
let me tell you
these
something.
people want to get butt hurt. This is all I gotta say for it. Whether you're religious or not, believe we step away from Israel, all hell's gonna be woken up on the United States of America that they wish they would never have woken.
Here's what the chief has to say.
It is in Iowa. Actually, in Iowa, we just run your asses over and we don't even get in trouble for it.
Well, here's the thing.
It happened in Iowa City.
Okay. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk a little bit about the thing. Israel recently came out with oh, damn, Chief. Oh, dude, that's
Either or.
Dude,
Either or.
You're thinking of Texas.
Depends which part of Iowa you're at.
Oh man, no.
In Iowa City, we just run your ass over.
All right, now look. What I want to say is Israel recently came out with an ultimatum, like not ultimate, like a deal for a ceasefire with Gaza. They said that we'll give you guys some of your things, we'll do this, we'll do that, if you can release 40 of the hostages. And here's what they said. They said we cannot come up with 40 live hostages.
And, see, that's the thing.
No, listen to that again. We cannot come up with 40 live hostages when they last had over 100.
I'm not going to say you're not wrong. And that's what I was getting ready to say.
So you know exactly what they've done to those hostages.
Yeah.
They're dead.
Beheaded. Yeah. So.
And isn't it illegal to kill your prisoners of war?
Only if you go by it.
It's part of the Geneva Convention.
Like, again, only if you go by it. But here's the question.
Every time
here's
America
the question.
My question was this: every time America or Israel breaks a small war crime, everybody goes ballistic. But when you kill your prisoners of war, that's a major war crime. Everyone's, oh, it's okay because they're not.
Well, here's the question. Again, why is United Nations asking for the ceasefire? Why is NATO the only one that's against this whole ceasefire?
Because we know what's really going on, and we're trying to do something about it. But NATO doesn't give two craps about what's going on in Israel. You're thinking of Ukraine without NATO. NATO's not really having a part of it.
Well, yeah, because Israel is part of NATO, so is the UK, so is French, and so are we. The last I checked, Hamas is not. And the last I checked, Iran is not either.
Israel is not part of NATO.
Because they were.
No. I didn't think they were, but I double checked. No.
Okay.
NATO,
anyway, back to what I was going to add into this.
NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Israel is
which don't even exist anymore, but we're funding it.
North Atlantic. The North Atlantic Treaty. Basically, all the Northern Atlantic countries, us, Canada, and Europe.
But it was only supposed to keep the Soviets away, and we haven't had Soviets for a long time.
Oh, what is Putin trying to do with Ukraine? Rebuild the Soviets. That's exactly what NATO's set up for.
Well, I don't see them doing anything about it. So again, why are we paying them?
That because Ukraine isn't legally part of NATO.
And neither is Russia. What's your point? NATO was there to prevent
about it because Ukraine
but if it's supposed to be a prevention of Soviets and he's trying to rebuild it, shouldn't we be NATO trying to stop it?
They can't, because for Article 5 of NATO, which means all countries get involved, for it to be invoked, Russia has to attack a sovereign land of a NATO country, and he hasn't. Ukraine is not NATO. So we cannot legally do anything about it.
So again, my question still stands. Why are we funding NATO?
So when Russia or any of our enemies attacks a NATO country, we get our asses in gear.
Yeah, but that won't happen. We ain't gonna do shit.
We
We have a
will-
president
we will
that
if-
hides under the desk.
We will if any of those countries invokes Article 5, then we'll have no choice. They'll force our hand.
They could force it all day, but I'm telling you, he's gonna hide underneath his desk and suck his winky.
Yeah, then the generals will do something because they'll be forced to, because Article 5 is Article 5. You can't do nothing about that. Look. Finland and Sweden recently joined NATO, so now they're on our team as well. And now if Poland gets attacked, if Germany gets attacked, there's a lot of countries that is this where Joe nice. There are some countries that are on the Soviet Union old list that are part of NATO. There's 3 of them last time I checked. So if Russia goes ahead and tries to attack one of those 3, yeah, we'll get involved. But right now, unfortunately, Ukraine is not part of NATO. They haven't gone through all the steps to be part of NATO. And I doubt they'll be allowed to join NATO as long as this war is going on. So that's unfortunate right there. As far as Israel, the geographic location is not available for that. So we can't do it. So there is no NATO there. But a lot of countries do find Israel as an ally. We're not the only ones. Yeah, I see his stupid comment. What about it?
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, point is that
I could make more points, but to be honest, they ain't going nowhere because people failed to listen, man, and that's the problem.
no, my
And speaking
question
of which-
is that what exactly is the benefit of holding up the traffic?
What's the benefit of all of it?
No, well, what are they planning to gain?
What does anybody have to gain? Iran included.
What do you mean?
The only thing Iran was pissed off about to begin with is the fact Hamas, they funded.
Yeah.
They got money from Hamas.
Yeah.
That's where they got pissed.
Yeah.
And of course, these liberal fruitcakes, like the ones holding up bridges, are the ones that watch CNN and say, they're killing Palestinians. No. Hamas is shielding behind them. Hamas is the one that bombed the freaking hospital. They were under it. The whole freaking thing is just freaking weird because they watch the wrong freaking news media. And I'm finding this out today more than once. The articles that, for instance, Great Britain, we stand with Israel. They have a right to respond. That was off another one. NBC, Britain stands against Israel fighting back. They should be in peace talks right now with Iran and the other one. CNN said the exact same thing NBC said. Politico said the exact same thing NBC, CNN said. The only 2 that were different was Fox and the Wall Street Journal, which Wall Street Journal is by far left wing. So your news media has a lot with how it represents things and presents things. If you're going to spread a bad narrative, that's where your liberals that don't do any research, they jump on that bandwagon because that's the only thing they hear.
Well, I guess my question still stands: is that what do you gain?
They think if people see them on TV, that they'll make a movement like BLM. They'll make a movement like George Floyd. They keep hoping that they'll get this big popularity going and they can become millionaires and people will donate to their cause. What cause are they trying to make over something that ain't even happening here. And all these signs say the same thing. We stand with the people of Palestine or Palestinian.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense because they're not the ones that's at war. They're at war with Hamas. What are you guys talking about?
Who the hell's having a baby?
Sucks at wrestling,
Shut
Paul.
Oh yeah, shut up. Who the fuck's having a baby?
Said Logan Paul is.
No, he said I'm drinking the prime. Hey, say what you want. Oh, he's having a baby? That's nice. Hey, my defense, I've been drinking these for like a week. I've already lost like 7 pounds. So
Shit.
stop drinking. I didn't drink Powerade for a week, and I drank these for a week and lost 7 pounds. So there you go.
So what was the other topic we had?
The bridges and the whole what the hell is it, with the Israel's trade thing not working. About 40, like I said, they don't have 40 live hostages to trade with. 40.
That kind of thing.
So
Whole world is nuts.
well, they don't have the live. If you ask me, if the hostages are dead, then we might as well just finish what we started.
Could be a pixie rampage. Hashtag charge of the protesters.
For what? First Amendment? Blocking traffic? Unfortunately, those technically aren't illegal.
It is against the law to block traffic.
Well, it is to a certain extent. But
if you're out there being fucking stupid and just trying to be dumb, I think you should be arrested.
Then how come why weren't they? And 2, why didn't people just, I don't know, drive around them?
Again, what cities are they in? They can't be touched. They won't be touched because your liberal cities will not allow them to.
Drive around them.
Fuck it, run them over. Teach them to be stupid somewhere else, but then you'll be fined, and that's when you have a lawsuit. So fuck it. Cops don't want to do their job? You know what? Hey, I was going to bring that up. I'm glad this is a rant podcast. So I don't know if you and Chief read this, but
uh-oh. Here comes the strong style. Do you have the red mist today?
So I'm glad he's in here.
I have one question.
Are you ready?
No. The bridge. They blocked it.
Yes.
Say there is an ambulance on there with someone listed in critical condition. That person dies. Every protester will be charged with murder.
Nope. Been there, done that.
You're thinking
they didn't get nothing.
Homicide, but no.
No, they didn't even get that. That happened during
George.
Oh, what was that? The Black Lives Matter thing in California. That happened. They got nothing.
Well, they need to be charged.
It's California. They ain't ever going to. But that's where I was going with this one. So
it
apparently,
wasn't just California.
Yeah, it was New York too and Chicago, and none of them ended up with nothing.
San Fran, Baltimore, Lower Manhattan, St. Louis, Kansas City, Chicago.
But let me ask you guys something. Did anybody look at what was going on at the same time this was all happening?
I didn't really give 2 shits.
How does it work?
I found out because I decided to do my own little investigating off the land of YouTube. So as this was going on, Trump's trial started today. At the same time, these protests happened.
Yep.
Also, at the same time these protests happened, impeachment hearing number 3 was going on. How do you keep everybody from watching that?
Look over here.
Yep,
Magic tricks going on over here.
exactly. That's exactly how it worked. They made everybody tune in to all these places, so they kept track of, out of the Trump trial, they kept made sure everybody's mind was off the impeachment hearing. That's how it works. So, Ghost,
Yeah, I'm listening.
and I'm, yeah, Chief's still here. He just went MIA. So, last month, a family here in Iowa was awarded wrongful death.
Okay.
Iowa has to pay them $3 million
Yep, I read that.
because they pursued him on a motorcycle and he crashed. Said that
Yep.
he wouldn't have been going over 100 miles an hour if the cops wouldn't have been chasing him.
Sounds right to me.
And really,
Yeah.
when does wrong become right? Cops' job is
when you
to
feel
apprehend.
when you feel your life is in danger.
Don't be on a fucking motorcycle going 110. Pull the fuck over.
Maybe you felt
Again,
that
when does common sense become cops' fault?
when you feel like your life is in danger.
Again, I can repeat this 100 times over. You're in control of your own damn body. If you're going to do 110 with no walls around you and you lose control, no matter if you're being chased, no matter of anything, you're in control of your own damn right.
Okay.
Now, you're told that in court when you shoot somebody. You're in full control. You had the call. So he had the same right.
I have a
Pull the
question.
fuck over.
Okay. Hey, Insidious, you're being chased right now by a serial killer and you're going that fast and you crash. Still your fault?
How do you get that with a cop?
I'm
I'm
asking,
waiting for that.
I'm asking you a question.
No, because first off, I'm getting the fuck out whooping somebody's ass.
Okay. What if, but okay, fine, you're being chased by someone and you have a legit fear of your life. Do you have the right to run?
No, I have a right to use my Second Amendment, which is turn around and kill him.
Uh-huh.
There's a
And then you
difference.
yeah, and then you got another problem.
Yeah, well, at least I'll face it, not dead,
Mm.
because I was smart. I used my brain. I didn't run from the fucking cops doing 110 miles an hour and lose control.
My point, well, you asked me my point. My point is, if he felt that his life was in danger, he ran for himself.
He ran because he didn't have a fucking license. Why the fuck are you running because you ain't got a fucking license?
Maybe he didn't want to be kidnapped.
Pixie, that's no excuse to be retarded and run. You
Maybe
are
he didn't-
learned right from wrong from the day you are born.
Maybe he was
I
afraid.
know. I'm going to try and outrun the cops today
Maybe he was afraid. of being
because I
You're afraid of being
think that I'm entitled to run from the cops because, well, my
He was
life
afraid of
means
being
nothing. You keep stuck on the kidnap thing, but you're not helping your point.
Why? What would happen if he got caught?
He would have went to fucking jail probably for not even that long. Now
So
he's permanently dead because he decided to run. And somehow it's the cop's fault.
He would have been taken somewhere against his will. Isn't that the definition of kidnapped?
How much ice did he smoke? You're making this guy sound like now he's all fucked up on drugs.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you are.
No, I
What
said
kind of a person thinks the cops are going to kidnap him? What logical, everyday person thinks the cops are going
you're
to kidnap
going
him?
to take me somewhere against my will. That's the definition of kidnapping.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to jail, just like nobody wanted to go to timeout when you were a kid either. You cannot mix common sense here. It doesn't work.
You asked me what goes through their mind. I'm telling you.
No, this is what's going through your mind. What's going through their mind is I'm entitled to do whatever the fuck I want and have no repercussions. Well, your repercussions landed you in death. That's where I'm going with it. Everybody has repercussions for their actions. He chose his. And I don't see how it's the cop's fault. Now,
Because
okay,
cops are also
if I
told-
decide I have no insurance,
Because cops also are told that if a chase becomes too reckless or dangerous, they're supposed to back off.
yeah.
If they feel
Yeah.
like if they feel like people can get hurt, they're supposed to back off. Look, the odds of you getting away from the cop these days is slim to none. They get your license plate. They can get a helicopter involved. You ain't outrunning a damn helicopter. Very, very, very rarely can you outrun a cop. She's fine with this person. Hey, Chief. Learn to spell. Doesn't even know how to spell Chiefs.
All I know is I'm going with, if that's the case, then everybody that was ever arrested by the January 6th should all fucking sue them because they didn't do anything wrong.
Some are.
They should. I mean, if that's the case in Iowa where you can do wrong and get awarded for it even in death, in that case, anybody should be able to sue them and get by with it.
Uh-huh. At least I can spell. So if I'm the dumbass and I can spell, what does that make you?
Alrighty, I'm at 2%, so I'm gonna have to hop off of here.
You're done?
Yeah, I ain't got a choice. I'm at 2% battery life.
Well, plug it in. Don't you have like a car charger?
Not my car now.
You're like the only person with a cell phone that doesn't have a car charger.
I'm not in my car that much. I have one. Hello, I work at JBS. I'm there a majority of my life.
Fair enough. All right, everyone. And so this is running out, so I guess we'll have to do a part 2 of this podcast some other time. That's the Insidious. I'm the ghost. So good night, y'all. I mean, in my defense, I was basically, you asked me a question, what goes through the mind of these people, and I was just answering a question. So I was like, shit.
Hi, I'm Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is the Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.